Hier ziet u nog een keer het e-mailadres. Mocht u vragen over de spelling hebben, dan kunt u daar dus lezen. Goed, dan zou ik eerst even een voorstel mezelf even willen voorstellen. Ik ben dus Bernard Leverink en ik werk bij Itannex als coördinator van de supportdesk. Dus mocht u vragen hebben over Autodesk software inhoudelijk of dan wel over licenties of prijzen, dan kunt u altijd bellen met de support. Dit webinar doen wij samen met AGA. En AGA is onze leverancier van een aantal tools die het werken in Revit vergemakkelijken. Itannex zelf, you may go to next slide, Valenza's. Ja, thank you. Dan zal ik even iets over Itannex zelf vertellen. Itannex is een multidisciplinair adviesbureau op het gebied van een BIM. En daarin begeleiden wij en beweren wij het hele proces van ontwerp tot aan realisatie. En wij helpen u daarbij om het meeste uit uw BIM-modellen te halen. Itannex bestaat sinds 1996. En in die tijd hebben we al meer dan 6000 CAD-werkplekken in Nederland geïmplementeerd. En die begon ooit met werkplekken voorzien van AutoCAD. Tegenwoordig doen we volledige BIM-implementaties, dus de software, trainingen en de BIM-coördinatie. Met onze kennis van processen, materie en de producten kunnen wij u helpen om de projecten te verbeteren. We zijn authorized Autodesk reseller. En daarmee staan wij ook in de top 20 van Autodesk EMEA. Dat wil zeggen Europa, Midden-Oosten en Afrika. En naast de software van Autodesk hebben wij zelf Smart Revit. Dus dat is een bibliotheek waar heel veel packages in staan. Die een aantal processen al voor u hebben gedaan in Revit. Zoals het modelleren van trappen, kozijnen enzovoorts. En daarnaast maken we natuurlijk ook gebruik van tools. En vandaag gaan daar een aantal van besproken worden. Vandaag gaat het over gedetailleerd modelleren van kolommen en balken. En dit webinar wordt verder verzorgd door Valenza's. AGA is een ontwikkelaar van deze Revit add-ons. En zij hebben zelf ook al meer dan 5000 licenties in meer dan 79 landen lopen. En het doel van AGA is ervoor te zorgen dat u als gebruiker meer profit haalt uit uw workflow. Nou, hiermee wordt ingezet op het versnellen en het wegnemen van vooral tijdsverspilling. Goed, dan zal ik het woord geven aan Valenza's. Valenza's, you may switch to your screen and start your part of the presentation.
Okay, thank you for introduction. Now I'll continue a little bit, few words about our company. It's AGACAD. We are developers of different tools for BIM industry. So we create BIM tools together with our clients and we sell it worldwide to more than 100 countries. So our promise to our users is that we will try to reduce your stress while switching to the BIM and eliminating unnecessary tasks by creating different kind of solutions. And you see in this window we have a lot of products for the parameter management, for the precast, for the framing of different elements. In Revit to cut openings, some solutions for MEP element engineers and so on. So you can find them in our web page. Today I will talk about Precast Concrete, and it helps to create elements, to insert details, connections, voids and so on. It helps to sort elements automatically and create drawings. This is a short description also about Precast Concrete, and then I'll switch over to this slide and you will see that we have like 5 tools inside the Precast Concrete suite. So the one is for the floor panel to create floor panels like hollow core slabs, double T slabs and so on. Then another one is to work with walls, to split single walls into the wall panels automatically. Then smart details to insert connections. Sort mart automatically sort elements, any kind of element in Revit, and then Smart Assemblies is to automatically create shop drawings. And then in this webinar, you will see how to create connections, how to between columns and the beams, how to modify and update connections, how to sort elements, and how to create drawings and place them automatically on the sheet. So today I will talk only about 3 solutions because these are related to the columns and framing elements. Yeah, so let's switch over to Revit and let's see how it works. So I have a sample project here. So you see some walls created with some details placed already to connect them. Other parts are floors and structural framing and column elements. So today I will show you how to work with columns and framing. So let's start by using this tool installed in Revit. So it's called Tools for BIM Dock. You can download it from our webpage, and then you'll be able to install any of our solutions and take the trial. So Precast Concrete, we have 5 solutions, but let's start from Smart Details and see what we can do with the solution. So let me select, first of all, a couple of elements over here. So I will filter some columns and framing elements. Okay, so now I have these elements selected, maybe this one also, and then I will use here this command to auto insert details in the columns and the beams. So we will see the result, and then I will explain how did I get this kind of results. So now you see I have some details placed at the bottom of the column, some details placed at the structural framing location. I have some lifters at the gravity point. I have some other cuts and so on. So how did I do that? We have in Smart Details, we have configurations. If I'll open that, we will see configuration window. This is configuration window for the columns. So actually you can use Smart Details on different kind of categories. So actually it could be used on curtain walls, on floors, on ducts, any line-based generic models, and so on. So what do we have here? We have on the left side, these tabs describes what kind of detail will be inserted. So this could be line-based detail placed on any face of the element, and then point-based details placed on any face of the element. So what can we do in these tabs? Over here we have detail priority tabs. In each of the tabs we can define what kind of rule should be inserted and where it should be inserted. Let's say in this case I select from the list point-based detail, just a face-based regular family which I created. Then from family browser I can also do the same. So there are 2 options, from family browser or from the list. Just pick your detail and then define how to insert it. In this area you can you have some flipping options. You can select on which face do I want to place that. So I mark to place this detail. Then over here we have layout axis. So we define how to place this detail in that direction. And over here we define how to place that detail in that direction. On the top right side, we have layout correction by elements. So this one describes it can find intersection with other elements. So in this case, it's searching horizontally for the intersection, for the T intersection with structural framing element. If we have structural framing connected to the middle of a column, it will place this detail. If we don't have this kind of connection, it will not place this detail. So we have different options here, how to find different intersections and so on. Or we can just describe simply without layout correction options, like where do we want to place this detail, let's say at the bottom of a column, in the center of a column in both directions, and just one piece of this detail. So we describe the rules, how do we want to place these details. We save it in the configurations. Configurations, you can define where to keep these configurations so anyone can access them and use them in other projects. So And then we define how to do that. We can select element and let's say click on insert details and select which configuration do we want to use. Let's say this one and click insert, and it will apply that configuration on the selected element. So you see now I have these details also created. Okay, so this is single column and it finds the intersection with framing elements and it places just 2 corbels at each level. Let's say in this case it finds 3 intersection with structural framing elements, so that's why I have 3 corbels and so on. Okay, so previously in the first place I did auto insert, so that's another option how to insert detail. It means that you can add the name of configuration over there, and during the auto insert it will read the name of configuration and it will place the details based on the on this parameter. Okay, so what do we have else? What do we have in create modify tab of smart details? We have some updates, modify details options. Okay, so let's do one more thing and see how it works. Let's say I will change the size of this beam, right? So now it's bigger. So now our openings are not cutting through. Our corbels is in the wrong position. So let's do it like this. Let's select these 3 elements and do the update details. So now it will check the situation, what was changed, and it will move elements based on that. So you see the cut now is coming through all the beam and the corbel is in a good position. But the trick here is that with smart details, I can read information, I can read parameters from the column, from the beam, and you see this detail has these parameters, which is actually the parameters of a column. It's reading the B and H parameter of a column. It's reading the H parameter of the beam, and that's why when I change the beam, my size of the place of a corbel was changed also based on the size of this parameter, because this parameter was changed in the beam. So there are different ways how to do that. Let's say in this case, if I'll go to modify details, you will see that this detail was placed on the top of the beam by gravity point with 2 elements and defined distance. But there are other ways, like how to do the same thing. So I will select a couple of elements here, and let's click on auto insert. Okay, so over here, let's say I had only one family and it was reading the length of the beam, and if the length of the beam is changing, so let me show you the family of this element. So if the length of the beam is changing, so the distance between my bolts, it will also change, because this is the settings in the family. It's reading the length of the beam and it's adapting to the size of the beam. Okay, so these are just a couple of other examples how the details could be created. So let's say I have some inclined details, I have some connection details placed. So there are different configurations and different ways how to do that. Okay, so let me show you maybe other situations, a couple of more of them. So I'll switch over to this view maybe, and let's select a couple of more. I'll do same, I'll just auto insert. So okay, over here we have corbels, same kind of, but over here, let's say I want to place other details. So let me show you that. So I showed just a couple of examples, but of course you can find other ways how to do that, how to insert your details, how to create connections between your elements. Okay, let me show you other things, like we have details, delete. So I can delete all the details, only selected details, so the group of details could be deleted and so on. And modifications to the instance element anytime could be performed, right? Let's say, what do we have here? Steel corbels, concrete corbels. Okay, this one, it doesn't have details. Okay, yeah, anyway, these steel corbels, right? So we can also find different kind of connections. Let's say in this case, it's L connection between column and beam. So we can place this kind of detail. We can define that in configurations. If we have L connection, then place this detail. If we don't have it, we don't place this detail. So there are many ways how to do that. Now, let's say we inserted already the details we need. So let's switch over to the sort mark solution. And this one is used to automatically sort elements. So let me switch to the plan view. And you will see that now all of my columns, they have mark parameter empty. So I want to renumber them. So I will do it like this. I will select these columns. I will filter them, structural columns. And now I will go to sort mark, select element numbering, select parameter, where do you want to write information. So this time I want to write this to the mark. And over here, we can, again, create different configurations. How do we want to renumber our elements and save them to our computer? So here we have options how to number them. We can group them based on any parameter. We can filter elements, again, based on any parameter and like this. Let's say we want to number only certain type of elements selected. So over here in numbering tab, you can define what will have influence on the different number. So let's say if I add volume, so only columns with different volume will be numbered in different number. But I can add as many as I want. Let's say column length, even special parameter available. So we can select these parameters, and based on that, the numbering will be performed. Okay. Then sub-numbering, we can add some additional numbers, how to sort them. So you can sort them based on level or on any other parameter. Let's say in this case, I will select direction, just coordinate. Then some other parameters possible for the column naming. And in the end, we select what kind of information should be added to the mark parameter. So this one, sort mark number, is the actually number which will be based on these settings. So we can start numbering at defined number, and then we can add, let's say, prefix. Just do it like this. We can add actually any kind of information, let's say column, also to the same parameter, but this time I just want to have this prefix and the number of the column. So I will do it like this, and you'll see that some of them most of them actually will have same mark values, because I was just sorting them based on the volume and the length. So let me show you another way. Let's say I will select again these columns. Again, I will filter them. So you can do that for all category of elements or just for selected elements. So this time, let's say I just select, again, just a piece of elements, right? So I'll go back there. And this time I will do it like this. I didn't save the settings I used previously, but now what I will do, I will just add sort number, just start at 100, let's say, and prefix, okay, just different prefix. And what I want additionally, I want to sort them based on x position, x coordinate. And let's click on OK. So elements was renumbered, and you will see that now we are using sorting options, and they have numbering from 100 and just going like this in that direction. So you can see it's 1 on 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it goes like that. Okay. Okay, sort mark, and then, okay, maybe I will show you also that we can do the same also for the beams. So just quickly run through them because I want to create some assemblies, some automatic drawings for that. So I want to also number these elements, element numbering to the mark, okay. So I can also use some maybe okay, it's the same. Maybe I will add them unique number. Go there, add, and I will just add the prefix like this, and okay. So I will have okay, same numbering of these elements, and let's go now to the last stage. Let's create some drawings. So Smart Assemblies is supposed to help you to create drawings. So what do we have here? We have also configurations, shop drawing configurations. How do we want to make the drawings? And what kind of drawings should be created? So over here, we save our configurations and the different names. We define what kind of views do we want to create. Select the view direction, then select if we want to rotate them, view type, name of the view, view template, what do we want to use for visibility settings, dimension rule, and dimension rule is defined over here. Edit dimension rule. You can define how to dimension main element, how to dimension openings, cuts in the element, how to dimension metal details. It can also snap to the model lines inside the family. So it's really cool that you can use different options how to dimension these elements. So concrete details, rebars could be dimensioned also in different ways. Dimension priority, so how do we want to dimension hosted elements, or we don't want to do that? Do we want to include nodes? What kind of information should be added, and so on. And the positioning also could be changed. So we do that. We assign the different dimension rules to the selected views. Different kind of additional settings here are available to gravity point, to reverse some of the views. Sometimes it's important to get good form or drawings. And then we have schedules, okay. We select what kind of schedule do we want to have, material takeoff, maybe select the schedule template and so on. And in the last stage, we select the title block, and then we select the sheet template. So how to place the views on the sheet. So let me just show you, let's say, a couple of examples. So I will select this beam, let's say, and I will just go there and create assembly. So now select the configuration which I want to use. So it's a beam formwork, let's say in this case, and just create the assembly. And what it will do, it will take all the hosted details automatically. It will create gravity point if you want to. So let's say it's placing this kind of element at the location of gravity point. And okay, so we have assembly created. The name of assembly is the same as a mark. So let's go and see what is the result. So this is automatic result of the drawing of a simple beam. So I have a cut, so I have dimensions for the cut. I have a lifter, so I have dimension for the lifter. I have nodes. I have overall dimensions placed. I have dimension for the gravity point if I want to. The same for the other view. I have some schedules applied also. So it's automatic, the result you can get. Let's take a look to other examples. Maybe I will just show you. I will select these elements, and let's say, how does it work? That is, when you select a couple of elements and you choose to create assemblies, it will create a couple of assemblies, right? So Smart Assemblies, it's a bit different than Revit assemblies. It's just working with separate elements. So it means I don't need to worry about what to select. I just need to select main elements, and it will automatically create assemblies, drawings. It will place dimensions. It will take all the hosted details, rebars automatically into assembly, so I don't need to click on each of these elements manually, and then I should get the results based on my sheet templates. And the sheet templates actually I defined in the template project. So I'll show you how my template project, how does it look. So why do I get the views on the sheet in the certain positions? So okay, the last probably assembly is created now, and then we'll see, let's say, a couple of different situations which I used. Okay, the last one, horizontal section view is created. Okay, so no warnings. Let's see this small column. Okay, so we have these drawings. So this one is for the longer one. So I have the surface mark just placed in the host element. And then I have these views. Some of the views are rotated, right? So anyway, we get good dimension. We can get just legends and schedules also. So again, everything is based on our configurations. There's just another drawing of other beam. But as you see, this column, this is shorter, so we have different template for this column, let's say. So we can create different assemblies. And what I want to show you is that I have this. Okay, so this is the same project. I have this template project in which I have created assemblies, and I defined how the views should be placed on the drawings. Let's say for the sandwich wall, I will configuration, I want views to be like this. For the double T slab, I want views to be like that. For the maybe reinforced wall, I want to have two sheets, one with a formwork, one with reinforced drawings. So again, I can have all of these automatic, and then in new project, it will place views in the same order as in this project, in this template project. So I can prepare that and work with smart assemblies and create drawings automatically. There are a little bit more of options, but that's basically what I wanted to show you today about the smart assemblies, smart details, and sort mark. So these three solutions could be a good combination to create your precast elements. And note that it could be used for not only for the framing and columns, but for all the other things, all the other elements like floors and walls and so on. And here's just a short note again about that you can get trial of any of our solutions. You just need to download this Tools for BIM doc from our webpage to the selected Revit. It could be 2018, 17, 16. So we support free versions of tools. And here you can just fill the form, get the trial, and any questions could be solved by Itannex. They have this email, or just an email which we had. Maybe the better one is to contact Bernard directly by this email. Bernard, would you like to add something?
Yes, thank you, Francis, for your wonderful presentation. Then I have a few questions for our interested people. Goed, ik zag dat er een aantal mensen later ingeschakeld hebben. En die kunnen dus via de chat een vraag stellen in het Engels. Wilt u toch een vraag stellen in het Nederlands, dan kan dat via bernard.leverink@itannex.com. En als er ook nog vragen zijn over Itannex in het algemeen, dan kan dat natuurlijk ook gevraagd of gebeld worden met Itannex. Zoals jullie in het webinar hebben gezien, hebben de tools nog wel wat voeten in de aarde. Dus ik kan me ook voorstellen dat een webinar niet voldoende is om volledig met zo'n tool te kunnen werken. Nou, daar zijn wij als Itannex ook voor om u daar de nodige ondersteuning bij te kunnen bieden. Dus ik zou u willen vragen, goh, bent u geïnteresseerd? Neem even contact op met ons, zodat wij kunnen kijken naar een passende oplossing hiervoor. Ik wil iedereen bedanken voor het meekijken. And I would like to thank Valensas for his wonderful presentation. And I'll say till next time.
Okay, yeah. Thank you and goodbye.
Okay, bye-bye.
AGACAD, building BIM together.